Hello YouTubers. Well, gonna be getting out here and cutting a little bit of wood here late this afternoon here. Probably can see over my shoulder in behind me here I got a decrepit dead pine tree here out on my one of my other cattle pastures here, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this one down on the ground here as safely as I can, and we'll get you back here in a second. Running a couple of saws here, one of my all-time favorites here, a little 346 XP Husqvarna original edition, the 42mm top end saw, originally known as a little 45cc, the original, and a saw that I don't know where this video is going to come up in the play queue, so to speak, here on YouTube. I did some service work on it. It's a Husqvarna 257. It's a semi-pro saw. It's a non-XP, kind of the detuned version of the 262 XP, I guess. It was in the same, built on the same chassis and the same family of saws, built at the same time. So, anyways, I'm going to use that saw for doing a little bit of bucking, and we're going to get on with it here. The saws in question here, like I say, my my little 346 here, and this old 257. Non-XP saw, like I say, I've been using it quite a bit. I've been wanting to get a run video of it here, and I haven't had the chance here yet. So they're actually, I'm quite impressed. Now I know why the firewood cutting crowd likes them so much. They're not a real high-strung saw, but they're a good, strong runner. A very stable platform. This saw starts good, runs good, restarts always on one pull. Just like the saw, it's very smooth. They didn't have the best anti-vibe on them. They're still the early 200 series with the rubber torsion mounts on them, so not like the newer 300 series that had the spring anti-vibe. So they were a lot smoother. But those are just a nice running saw. They pull good in the cut. They're not a big horsepower saw. They're, like I say, 56, 57 cc, something like that. Just a good all-around stable saw. I don't have the best chain on it, so it's sharp, but it's not a full square chisel. It's one of those stupid round chisel chains. It's just what I had laying around. I threw on there. It was an almost new chain. Somebody else didn't want it, I guess, obviously, because they don't cut the fastest. But for this kind of work here, it's good enough. We're just taking our time and doing a small load of firewood here to bring home here before the winter sets in. It's late, well, it's beyond late fall. It's early winter, but we had, like I say, a blizzard here a few weeks back, and we were snowed in pretty good. And then we got some rain, and a warm front came through and melted pretty much everything off. There's still a little bit of snow here and there back in the bush in places, but out on the open pastures and hayfields and stuff, everything right now is open and melted off. But we're supposed to get another blizzard coming here, a series of small snowstorms type of thing or whatever over the next few days and next week. So everything will be white again before you know it. But this is on the edge of a pasture here where I've been cutting the last few winters or years here on one of my cattle pastures. This is on a high, dry pine ridge. I got a lot of poplar and you know, back in the lowlands and the clay belts and stuff or whatever here. We got the topography here is real rolling land where we have a lot of poplar in places with clay, and then the next spot we've got sand ridge, high dry sand ridges with scraggly jack pine or whatever, and the tree in question is this ugly, whatchamacallit here, dried up. The bugs got into it a couple summers ago. There's a few tiny red needles left on it, but this tree is a real, it's all gnarled and twisted. It's like a corkscrew all the way up, so it'll be a tough firewood, lots of limbs on it. The bucking I'll do with the 257. A tree like that, you can burn 2 tanks of gas, no problem, getting it all limbed out and cut up. So I'm glad I got both saws, and anyways, I'm gonna get on with it here. I'll set you up and bring you back here when I get the tree down. my chain isn't dull. Just that wood is so twisted and so full of burls and hard with pitch and everything that if I had a full, I've cut in this little area here before, and I can tell you, regular full chisel chain, you literally, no matter what kind of hand file, ground, whatever you do, you're going to end up with, it knocks the edge off the chain, the cutting edge. This is some hard, tough stuff here. This is like what we call bull pine or badger pine type. When it goes out on the edge of a cattle pasture like that, it's all limbs to the ground. I'll show you folks here. Perfect example is just over there on the other side of the truck there, out in the open there. Those kind of pine trees, they grow with limbs almost all the way down to the ground. When you get into the edge, on the edge of an opening, like over here along the bush line, you'll still get these trees or whatever that are, well, they're sort of half and half. They're growing in a group, so they're starting to reach for the light a little more, and they get a little taller, but they're still awful full of limbs. But when you get these real tough ones like this here, I don't know if you can see this or not. Okay, folks, I don't know if you can see this or not, but it's almost got like two hearts in it or whatever, and it's all twisted, and there's pitch pockets where the bark intersects into the tree, where there's old fire scars and stuff. Like these old homestead sites here, like this is what this is. This is on the edge of an old yard site over here that was from like 80 or 100 years ago. There's you know, there's all kinds of weird trees that they grow up after or whatever, that are homesteaders had grassland fires and all kinds of stuff or whatever over the years. So these trees are tough survivors that, you know, cold winters and hot summers, and, and they well, anyways, like I say, you can see here, that's why the saw wants to grab and pull, but it's just actually, the little saw surprised me. It's got pretty good bottom end guts or whatever. It pulls hard. Some people say they don't, they weren't the greatest saws, but yeah, you know what? For a firewood saw doing this kind of crappy stuff, it's pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with what it can do for a small saw, and it's not that heavy. So, anyways, I'm gonna get the 346 going here. I gotta try and break some of this limbs and crap down off of here so I can continue on here and get some bucking done. But no, this old saw is it's a good stable runner, and it's working pretty good. So I just got a 16-inch bar on there with it's a 325, like I say, round chisel. It's not a square chisel, but in this kind of stuff, year before, I was cutting a bunch over in here. There was a bunch of dead ones like this here. Like I say, they're twisted corkscrew trees, and regular full chisel, square chisel chain, you just literally knock the edge off or whatever because it's so hard. There's sparks coming out when you're trying to cut this. So it's only been dead, like I say, a year and a half, 2 years here. What this tree gets pretty nasty. So anyways, we'll get the other saw going here. Saw's a little bit cold yet here. I'm just letting it warm up. let's see how that 257 is going to restart here. Getting dark on me here, folks, in the bush part here, whatever. It's shaded here, so like I say, days are getting short here now. We're getting into our shortest days of the year here. At 4:30 in the afternoon, it's already getting dark, so we're right around that time. So okay, folks, so I gotta keep on here. I can't film too much more here, so I gotta keep moving here and get this cut up before dark and get loaded and out of here. So we'll finish this up or whatever in the shop back at the ranch, so to speak. See y'all in a bit. Well, folks, I guess that's pretty much gonna be a wrap here, or a video. So anyways, well, if you're wondering what all the steam is, it's pretty cool in the shop here right now. I don't have any fire in the stove, and the glare of the light coming down or whatever I'm talking is making a bunch of steam. But anyways, yeah, got to run the 257 Husqvarna there, and got my old favorite little saw here, the 346 XP, out and about here today too, and got that ugly decrepit pine tree broke down and in the back of the truck there for firewood. Pretty much the end of the day here. It's dark now, and gonna go in and make a bite to eat, and after supper here gonna go ahead and take care of the small animals and put them to bed for the night, so to speak, and do a few chores, and maybe try and get that load of wood off the truck into the woodshed. Before, well, it's supposed to snow later tonight, so we'll see, probably by morning, but whatever. I got a big floodlight, a couple of floodlights set up outside of my front of my woodshed there, so around here, wintertime, the days are short, or by late afternoon it's pretty much getting dark, and early evening. In the summertime you're used to working late anyways, but this time of the year you don't get much done and you run out of daylight pretty quick. So this time of the year now we're getting into all our winter chores of just doing firewood and all that kind of stuff. That's what I spend my time here doing. So that tree was a pretty tough customer there. Those old homestead site trees there, they can be a real bugger to to deal with, because you've got anything from nails and old wire, and that property there in particular, before I bought it, it was owned by an absentee landowner that a lot of hunters would go in there trespassing and nailing up tree stands all over and stuff. So a lot of the edge of those openings or whatever have got old nails embedded or whatever from 30-40 years ago, from various tree stands and stuff nailed up, and homemade crap nailed all over in them. So I think I caught a couple nails there. Well, one nail for sure, anyways, because there were sparks flying all over there. So I know that I got something there. So I'm running a modified light 04 bar from a small steel saw on my 346, and I'm running the Stihl 23 RS Pro chain or whatever along with that bar. So it makes a good combination, and it's that chain here though is pretty much down to the nubs or whatever. It's pretty much at the end of its rope. I gave it a good sharpening here. I got maybe a couple more sharpenings out of it or whatever, and I've pretty much run it to the bottom of where it's what's left of it. So it's a good place for me to if I'm gonna wreck a chain, that's the place to do it or whatever, is in that kind of trees. And the 257 really didn't get a fair shake or whatever. What I figure, because running that round chisel chain, that's hard on a saw. That chain that pulls hard. It makes a saw work hard compared to a micro chisel or a full square chisel chain. They cut so much nicer compared to those round chisel chain. Yeah, they're supposed to be, they hold their edge a little longer in dirty conditions, but you know what? I don't know. To me, it's not worth the wear. It's not worth the wear and tear you put on a saw to run those cruddy chains. So I don't know. To each his own. That's some people like them, but I never did. They're okay, like I say, if you're cutting really dirty, but even then they get dull quick. So I just as soon sharpen a chisel chain a couple extra times in between or whatever, and just be done with it or whatever. And makes life it just makes it so much easier on your saw by running a proper chain, in my opinion. The saw or whatever, it was cutting good, but that tree was, like I say, it's a nasty twisted, burled up. Well, that's kind of, some of not all our pines like that here, but we do get some like that sometime, and that's one of those trees there. Right in that, there's like a grove or a bluff of them, whatever you want to call it there, and that's all that twisted up kind of pine there on the edge of that old homestead site there. And that's real tough. It's great firewood. When I put it through my log splitter, I'm not splitting it, I'm shearing it. And if you think that you're gonna rip cut that stuff with a saw, I have with bigger saws, but all you do is peel the edge off on your top plate of your chain, your cutter on your cutter tooth on the chain. You just round it off, because it pulls so hard that you beat the hell out of your chain. So anyways, I babbled on here again way too long. Thanks everybody for stopping in, checking out this video. If you stayed here till now, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I hate asking, but the YouTube algorithms aren't always the kindest to us small YouTube content providers. So, and remember, if you don't subscribe to my channel, like I always say, go ahead and subscribe to one of your favorite YouTube channels. It means a lot to us small content creators here on YouTube. So anyways, thanks everybody, and until the next time, as usual, take care.